Hey guys, yesterday I posted this list with no real explanation, but this has been slightly adjusted. Not like shouldn't worry about it too much, but the most important thing about this list is why did I make such a list? Well, the answer is this list is super efficient for what it wants to do. So about like 90% of these cards stops the battle phase in some way, shape, or form. Even if it's roundabout, will stop the battle phase. So with Dark Hole, I'll remove all your monsters, like, on a much later turn. I will just drop, like, a Dark Hole on, like, I don't know, like, turn 15 or something. And then the question at that point will be, do you still have monsters to summon? Like, you probably discarded all of them from your hand at some point. Well, we'll see about that. But, also, like, every single event, unironically, has just been infested with Lyrilusc, and it's actually sickening. This event, honestly, probably the most reasonable event to be playing Lyrilusc, because it's like, you know, winged beasts are supposed to be playable, but also at the same time, injustice. Look at how many good Lyrilusc cards they left up, like Ensign Blue. This is at 3. Oh, really? Really now? Ensign Blue's at 3? Oh, yeah, but like, Blackwing. This is this not Wing Beast? Am I missing something? Like, what? They just like murdered Blackwing. What did they even do to Lyrilusc exactly? Let's see. Go here, and then we'll go Forbidden. Did they even ban something? No, not really. Just Independent Nightingale. Why did they even ban this? Like, no one plays this anyways. And then aside from that, I guess they put a Bird Call to 1. Woe is me. Cobalt Sparrow to 2. Uh-huh. Meanwhile, like, Blackwing. Look at how they massacre Blackwing. So this is obviously just not allowed because Warrior. Fair enough. Simoon to 1. So this is a dragon. This is a dragon. Fair, right? Wing Beast right here. Oh. Banned. You know what's messed up? This isn't even that good for this event. Because, like, everyone's running fucking kaijus and stuff anyways. So, what are you gonna do? Pass on just this with Shurnga? Like, come on. Not that it would be easy, because Black Feather Whirlwind is also banned. So, like, just... Cool. Absolutely nothing you can make here. Like, honestly, let's look at the synchros we can actually make here. Synchros. And then let's turn off the Forbidden Filter. Alright. What is legal to make? All of these cards. I don't think I see anything good that you can make here at all. Considering you get Dark Locked as well during Blackwing, so we have to go minimum Dark. So this is a list of like every single card we can play here. So Blackwing Onimar, Reptilian Mussolini, or Melusine, that's not makeable. Raikiri, that doesn't do much. Hydra, Sohaya. None of these do anything, unironically. The Atlantis. Yeah, literally none of these guys have any sort of effect aside from, like, Silverwind the Ascendant. Literally, none of them do anything. Except maybe, like, battle-related stuff. Well, that's just pretty useless. So, like, the meta strategy of this festival is basically that you always, even if you're playing a going second deck, or going first deck, you will pick going second, just because, like, so many people are playing Lyrilusc, and they'll just Lyrilusc go TK you. And, like, they'll just, like, summon, some of their birds, which, of course, they have, like, a billion starters still. Like, 1-for-1. Where art thou? Jack in the Box. They have, like, so many options, right? And, let's see. This is not a one-card starter. Let's see. But if you have, like, essentially 2 of any Lyrilusc, right? I'm pretty sure that's just combo. In most cases. And then they make, like, a big assembled Nightingale, put on an equip spell onto it, and then they just attack you for game, and that's all it is. And they just completely ignore your board and go around it. How's that fun for like the opposing player? It's not, and it's even worse because literally like half or more than half of the lists in like both festivals, honestly, both of the ongoing ones, it's just goddamn Lyrilusc. Like, really? Really? So, if this list is legal, is it not perfectly fair for me to be playing this? The only issue with playing this specifically in the XYZ festival is that Zeus is legal there. So, if you were to do, like, Waboku, Zeus is still, like, makeable. Which is a bit of a shame, but not a whole lot you can do. And it's even worse because they make, like, a 10 billion material Zeus. So, these strategies don't really pop off that hard. And Boo Boo Game only triggers on specifically destruction, so you would have to, like, bait out, like, a lightning storm somehow with this. Maybe you need, like, more copies of Solemn Judgment then, I guess. So you can Solemn Zeus or, like, Solemn Strike or something. Like, something like that. That would be okay, I guess. So that's basically why I built this list, right? So next we'll just focus on the list itself, and we'll go through all the cards. So Final Countdown, not mandatory. It's a UR, but this is honestly a mercy card. If you have any copies that you got from the Legacy pack, you should play Final Countdown. There are merits and demerits to playing Final Countdown, but all you need realistically is a single copy of Localized Tornado. And the reason being, like, you don't need Final Countdown as your win condition. We can go for Deck Out. Yup, Deck Out. That's the win condition. So we simply just activate Localized Tornado, and essentially our 40-card deck has now become a more or less 80-card deck, meaning that even if our opponent just, like, hard passes and doesn't use any draws or searches or mills or anything, we will never deck out against them. Never. Never, ever. Because I didn't put in any draw power. But I mean, draw power itself is not entirely bad. So it's, like, worth considering. But also, Swords of Revealing Light. We have copies of Swords of Revealing Light. And I believe Konami gives you, like, some free copies of Swords of Revealing Light. And what else would you use Swords of Revealing Light for, like, straight up? And here is a rare card that's not as good as Swords of Revealing Light, but still, it helps get the job done. Nightmare Steel Cage. This card remains on the field for 2 of your opponent's turns. While this card is face up on the field, no monsters can attack. This is not a continuous spell, but it acts like a continuous spell for some reason. Okay, Nightmare Steel Cage. This is also pretty damn good. And then, of course, the most valuable cards, we'll start going through some, but, like, Stumbling is just a budget option. If I had, like, another copy of Swords, I would rather play that, honestly. And then we have Waboku. Waboku is pretty good because if you set Waboku, if your opponent does not have a spell trap negate, if they try to remove it at all, you can just simply chain Waboku to the removal, and then it will have gotten its job done. And this also applies to Threatening Roar as well. So that's kind of how that goes. And then Thunder of Ruler. This card is pretty good as well. So you can just keep using Thunder of Ruler, like, back to back to back, right? And then eventually maybe you'll draw into, like, a Waboku or, like, a Boo Boo Game. So then you can just set maybe, like, Waboku with, like, Boo Boo Game. Then you can, like, activate Waboku and then, like chained to, like, Destruction. Like, Feather Duster, right? And then, boom, you get Waboku effect, and Boo Boo Game will trigger and allow you to reset some of your, like, Battleface skipping traps, like Waboku, Threatening Roar, whatever. That's fine. And Thunder of Ruler has to activate during the standby, which makes it, like, slightly worse than, like, for example, Threatening Roar. And I think Threatening Roar is probably the best one here in this list. Threatening Roar is in one of the structure decks, I believe, so even though it's an SR, this deck is relatively cheap. So I've made this like a little stronger and a little less budget. So for this event, the only option we have is Smoke Mosquito, and we're just going to play 2 because about 2 copies of Red Reboot are legal anyway, so we have about the same chances drawing Smoke Mosquito as like our opponent has to draw Red Reboot. So if our opponent draws Red Reboot, they still will not be able to break through the strategy necessarily. If Red Reboot is really prevalent, we could bump up like Smoke Mosquito to 3, but I don't feel like crafting any Smoke Mosquitoes. I just happen to have these guys for some reason. Did I just get them from the Master Pack? Yeah, I guess I did. Maybe I got one from the free pulls, whatever. And then essentially our highest value cards are like Waboku, Threatening Roar, and Frozen Soul. Whenever these are live, they can always bait like backer removal and still trade for battle phase. The ones that can't do that are like, for example, No Entry, and then there is another spell. I don't remember. Where is it? Let's see. Did I not craft copies of it? Did I already have it? It's crazy if I did. Let's see. Ninja cards, and then with these. Okay. Oh no, there it is. Windstorms of Atakwa. So Atakwa is a little bit worse than No Entry, but the issue with both No Entry and Windstorms of Atakwa is that if your opponent summons any Link monsters, you can still get hit, you know? You can still get attacked. So these aren't that great. So it's at the point where like something like a Mirror Force is actually like worth consideration. Seems like I have a few copies of Mirror Force, but normal Mirror Force is something I wouldn't consider because Lyrilusc assembled Nightingale has a quick effect to make all Lyrilusc monsters not destructible by card effect or battle, so not that great. But let's see, what else do we have? Drowning, Quaking. I think Quaking is probably the best one. Yeah. So if I were to play 3 of any of these, it would be like Quaking, and it's not that bad if you're using it to replace like a couple copies of No Entry or Batekua or whatever it was called. I don't remember. It's a weird name. A lot of these cards are pretty niche and weird, but another card that I don't like so much is Flashbang. Activate only after a damage calc when a monster your opponent controls made a direct attack. It is now the end phase of this turn. So this, of course, is another way we have to skip the battle phase somewhat. So this allows our opponent to attack once still, so it's not that great. I would have preferred like more copies of something else, but if it can't be helped, it can't be helped. What can I say? And then here is like a slightly more expensive tech option. We have Artifact Ignition. We will never actually use the effect of Artifact Ignition here, so we will only use the effect when it is destroyed by opponent's card. It will just simply skip their next battle phase. And without battle phase skipping works, it can't stack, which is unfortunate, so we can't do like Frozen Soul, activate twice, unfortunately, if we skip a battle phase. It has to first be skipped before you can activate like another Frozen Soul. So we can't skip the battle phase after that one. That's not how the card works, unfortunately. But Frozen Soul is technically better than Thunder of Ruler because it can still bait out like back row removal, like Duster, Lightning Storm, and still be chained to it, which Thunder of Ruler cannot. So the only issue with this specifically is you need to be 2,000 life points lower than your opponents to activate this. So that's a shame. But there is also this one niche trap that I don't remember the name of. It's like Dark something. I believe its effect is that it copies the effect of a trap by banishing it, I think. But it also requires you to be at a certain life point threshold. Dark Illusion, nope. Darkfall. Nope. Well, we'll just look through it. See if we can find it. It's like pretty old and crusty, like a lot of these cards. Change of night and day. Let's see if we can find anything that mentions traps specifically. That should narrow it down a bit. Maybe it's here, maybe it's not. Maybe it's too hard to find. Bound Knights. Dark Bribe, no. Dark Contract, Deep Dark Hole, nope, nope, nope. Trap of Darkness. Aha, here we go. If your life points is 3,000 or less, pay 1,000 life points, then target one normal trap in your graveyard except Trap of Darkness. This card's effect becomes that target's activated effect. Then banish that target. This card is not bad because it can act as like an extra like Woboku or Threatening Roar or whatever, and that is pretty nice. How do we get this again? Legacy. This might be, let me think, is it? It's probably not, actually. Well, let's just bookmark this real fast. This is useful for exactly this kind of strategy. But we're only running one Wall of Revealing Light because we can only afford to ever pay around 5,000 life points if we're playing Final Countdown. And then if our opponent cannot get past this point, this will buy us a lot of turns to start building up our Wobokus and stuff to like skip more battle phases. Worst case scenario, we will go for deck out. It is that simple. So our win con is either Final Countdown or our opponent decking out first. If our opponent does not know what we're playing, there is a good chance that even if our opponent was playing like let's say 35, or not 35, like 45 cards, there's a good chance they will start activating their cards, and let's say it's like, oh, my opponent has one set and they haven't like activated it, we should be good, right? So like I would probably like chain off for a while, and then my opponent, like when they enter battle phase, boom, activate Woboku, and then they might not have realized it, but they just doomed themselves because they activated some cards and that removed some of their main deck cards. So now you're already on the road to decking out before I do. And that's before considering I actually have a copy of Localized Tornado in this deck. Like, No Entry and Flashbang are not that great, so maybe I'm still looking for replacements for these, but there are like some options that are a bit risky, so really have to think on this. So yeah. The issue with like some cards is that they have to directly like kind of stop the battle phase, and with that Mirror Force earlier as well, that will not stop or help us deal with any link monsters as well, which is unfortunate. But we could also just play more copies of Torrential potentially. It is just ideal that we just use Wobokus and such to bait out like some back row removal first before we try dropping Torrential maybe. And Dark Hole is here just to deal with some annoying nuisance cards. So the most annoying ones I think are probably just, you know, there is whoops. Pretty hard to spell. Let's see. Did I get it right? Alright. So there's Shrig. This will just banish your cards willy-nilly. So this isn't a big deal immediately, but the thing is that it makes it hard for us to get our turns with Swords of Revealing Light and Nightmare Steel Cage. So if we just simply drop a Dark Hole, this guy's not coming back. And that's great. That's doing some work for us. And then there's also this Darama Doll. Well, if I can figure out how to spell it. Daruma Doll? Oh, okay. Daruma Doll. This guy doesn't have a hard once per turn. Pretty annoying. But because of how this guy works, we can use it to pop Boo Boo Game. So not as bad as Shrig, which banishes. So banish Boo Boo Game does nothing, you know? So that's sad. But yeah, in general, this is the game plan, and that's why I'm playing it. And these duels go on for quite a bit. Well, I still have a couple of duels, so I guess I'll try to show you guys some good ones. So noticeably, I will like scoop against like anyone that's playing like a loner. But whatever. Let's see. So it's just one copy. So I happen to have gotten like one copy from Legacy, I guess. So Swords of Revealing Light, as you can see, you get one copy here from editing your profile card. So whatever. All right, let's go here. So as you guys can see here, I've actually long completed this event. I'm like double the required for the title here. And yeah, so I'll scoop if I see people playing a loner deck most of the time. So let's see if we can find a good one. Let's see. This one is pretty brutal. This one actually goes all the way to Deca, but my opponent here was actually a good sport. So not like like some people like they're kind of losing it. I don't know why, but they start like burning up their entire timer doing nothing. Basically, they're like kind of stalling for no reason. So here, Promenade Thrush. Since it's Promenade Thrush, you know, I'm just going to remove this because it'll be annoying for later. Backer removal, right? Dank Hole, you know? And then I have a Boku here set just in case, but we're mostly going to do a Tekwa. And here I was right. I want to result a Tekwa, but there was a risk. I could have just set Waboku. It was a choice I made, but whatever. Okay, so my opponent here is going to summon Assembled, and this does nothing. Literally nothing. Just pass. Alright. That's fine. Okay, now we have Thunder of Ruler. I always wanna like get either my Thunder of Rulers or no entries done. So Thunder of Ruler here. It was where Arf Thou. But like no entry also risks like if my opponent has any form of backer removal, they can just remove it. Alright. So continuing on, we got Useless Draw, Dark Hole. Yucky. So we'll just set both of these for now. My opponent, for some reason, has decided not to attack, even though I didn't activate any cards, so they might be suspecting some like Mirror Forces or something. So now we have Boo Boo Game set, so even if we get hit by backer removal, we're not like in the worst spot. I cannot activate Frozen Soul because for some reason my opponent like activated Wear Off Thou, so they're down 2,000 on me, so I would need to go down to 4,000 life points to activate Frozen Soul, which is like awkward, but whatever. Draw into Localized Tornado doesn't do much. I think they're afraid of like drowning or some kind of like Mirror Force like that. But alright, this is fine. Okay, Wear Off Thou for 2k once again. Okay, and we're waiting. Waiting. And this is what like most of the duels look like, but I guess this guy just is too afraid to go into battle phase. They don't know what I'm playing exactly, so fair enough. You don't know how budget I went, I guess, but whatever. I guess right now I do have enough points to just outright craft some Mirror Forces, but do I want to craft Mirror Force for this? Probably not. That was probably the only copy of Thrush they had, right? Like, just assuming. Whatever. And no entry. Yup. So since Frozen Soul is dead, I just set that. I'm holding onto my Boo Boo Games, whatever. And unfortunately, this game, I don't draw Final Countdown anytime soon. So, isn't that awkward? Activating some Lyrilusc cards. So at this point, like, they start like drawing some cards. You know, might as well get this over with faster. So I'm just going to activate this just for fun, because I will probably discarded it anyways. I don't think their last extra deck card is actually going to matter, so whatever. Nightmare Steel Cage is gone. Doo-doo. I'll activate the next one. Oh boy. Welcome to turn 25. Have you seen a duel? go this late in a long time. Alright, I guess here we will discard Boo Boo Game. Yeah. I still have the other copy, so I'm not, like, too worried about anything. Bird Sanctuary. Time to draw. I don't know why they attached it that way. They could have attached to, like, Promenade Rush. But whatever, I guess. Sure. Well, of Revealing Light. That doesn't actually work because this is not affected. Okay. Keep her going. I will discard Stumbling because Stumbling's like completely dead. You want to draw like Stumbling like extremely early or not at all. It's kind of how it goes with Stumbling, but whatever. Thunder of Ruler once again. I will just set Thunder of Ruler. Opponent. I think they do have like a Duster in their deck, but they have yet to draw it, which is fine. Don't need Solemn Judgment. Unless they run Solemn Judgment, it's like not a big deal. And even if they do, we still have Smoked Mosquito, so yep. Just waiting, just chilling, just vibing. We'll just discard that, whatever. Oh, they finally drew Duster. It was their 6th last card. Okay, and now we'll activate Waboku. Power of the Guardians. And now, I guess just for fun, they'll attack 10 times and activate Power of the Guardian. Look at this insane amount of protection. Let's go. Oh boy. Oh yeah, also, I guess their last extra deck card was this Kiki Nagashi Fucho. That's what it was. Alright. Gotta love seeing Final Blow. Final Blow. Final Blow. Yep. This is peak. Even if I don't win, this really sends a message, and this is very annoying to play against. But if you simply make any kind of like Spell Trap negate, or you have like some good Spell Trap removal, you can actually, Spell Trap removal's not enough, you need negate, straight up. Yeah. Like, Boo Boo Game, right? So, yeah. All you have to do, set up some Spell Trap negate, like 1 or 2, and you should be able to get the win by like, I don't know, like turn 6. You only need a little bit of removal if I happen to have something like Nightmare Steel Cage. It could be it could be that simple. How long has this been going on? 44 turns. And my opponent, they deck out now. Yup. And this kind of abuses the fact that even if you do run Lightning Storm as your back row removal, it's not good enough because you have monsters now and it's turned off forever. There's no way you're going to be able to remove your own cards. And also, if you have one of Duster, I will plus off of that Duster likely. That way your Duster will not do anything. That is the benefit of playing Waboku. And of course, if you never activate like any back row removal or anything, don't enter the battle phase, then I won't have to activate any of my traps, so it's a win-win for me, I guess, no matter what the outcome. But, yeah, essentially, we wouldn't have had to stall till, like, 45 if we drew Final Countdown at all in the stool, but, I mean, there's no way for me to reasonably go out of my way to kind of get Final Countdown, so I guess we'll go for Deck Out WinCon instead, and, yeah. That's kind of how it goes. What are you gonna do about it? Eh? So yeah. If you know, you know, right? You end up scooping pretty fast if you realize what you're actually against. I guess there was also this replay, I guess. We'll just go through this one real quick. any replay where you get like file countdown earlier is like a better one, but I don't really want to run 3 final countdowns either, because after I activate one final countdown, the other one is useless. Or the other ones, in this case. So we're just going to do like this, Nightmare Steel Cage, set Woboku. If my opponent doesn't instantly have backer removal, like so, yep, no backer removal, then Nightmare Steel Cage will just be live for the full turns, and I'll still have Woboku as a backup, but I had Smoke Mosquito, so I could have played around that, but whatever. Let's see, what was my opponent actually playing here? I don't remember. What was this again? No, this was Lyrilusc, yeah. So, if I find you playing Lyrilusc, I will play out the full duel. That's just how it is. Alright. So my opponent here just happens to have nothing, I guess. Whatever. Okay. Jack in the hand. Here we go. Time to grab some starters, I guess. Lyrilusc, fun times, fun combos. Lyrilusc combo, oh boy, slower swallow. Assembled Nightingale. Recital Starling. Add the bird. Bird Sanctuary. Oh boy. Axe of Despair. Isn't this OTK fun? And know that they're running a lot of backer removal cards as well. Like, not just backer removal cards, actually. Like, they're running Kaijus, they're running, like, Raigekis and stuff, right? All those fun going second cards that cheese you out. And this is simply a deck that plays around this, you know? So, honestly, you could just count this as, like, anti-meta strategy, you know? It's like counter-picking Tearlament with Laundries, you know? But, yeah, this is an event. Alright. Summoning some guys. Cool. So they tried to enter the battle phase there, so we're going to just activate Frozen Soul. Okay. Another copy of Final Countdown. We'll set that just to make it look juicier, you know? Now you will surely definitely want to duster this, right? And then Doom Eagle. Okay. Whatever. And there, we have Boo Boo Game and Wall of Revealing Light. I should have held Wall of Revealing Light for longer, I believe. But whatever. Now we're going to do this. 5k here. Pay 5k, and now we're at 1k life points remaining. And we'll Dark Hole, you know, Dank Hole, remove hit Frailsvegger or whatever. We could have set Burl Canary, but whatever. Now here we have no choice but to Boo Boo Game, unfortunate. That direct attack is not going to come through. Alright. Turn 12. Few more turns to go. Solemn. Well, that's whatever. So here we'll just set Smoke Mosquito for a while, because nothing else we can really do. And they have no way to remove all of Revealing Light, so whatever. We can't activate Smoke Mosquito because it just helps the battle damage, and in that case, we die. So they're just summoning stuff, whatever. And people will tend to do this instead of discarding these monster cards, and that is how you can bait out a Torrential later as well. So, yep. Now we have double Solemn. Feeling fairly safe now. And my opponent gives up. Alright. I mean, I've drawn out, like, nearly all of my cards. The only issue, like, the only way I lose, if I draw into, like, Stumbling, and then, like, any of the change attack defense to defense position kind of cards. That is the only way I lose, but the majority of my deck is still like Waboku's and Thunder of Ruler. So there's a good chance I would draw into those, so we pretty much have the game in the bag there. And yeah. I will mostly scoop if I encounter like any deck that's like not a going second kind of mess where you're playing a bunch of like kaijus and stuff, like kaijus, back row removal, whatever, like those kinds of decks. I will play this deck against you. Simple as that. Aside from that, I'll just scoop, you know, out of respect. You know, maybe there's a bit of a mutual respect here. I don't know, but I will just say that this list is pretty legal, and I had to actually dig through like quite a few like jank cards to make this list. It was kind of annoying. Like, how do you think I found no entry? It was not a fun time researching these cards. It's kind of annoying. Like, honestly. But, yeah. This list, it gets the job done, and made a slight improvement from, like, the last list. Trap Trick is pretty good. Just whatever, I guess. I would prefer not to run Trap Trick at all if possible. I would prefer just, like, more cards that just do stuff, you know? In general, like, something similar to, like, either Waboku or Threatening Roar, but yeah, if there were any more cards like that, I would probably be running them already anyway, so yeah, that's about all I've got for you guys today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't let me catch you playing Lyrilusc. Bye.